Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. Thanks to Paddy Madden, we got off to a winning start last week, which is always good. To make the start a winning one. Small bit of profit. It wasn't a massive price, but let's see if we can eke out a bit more profit this week as well. We're going to start off, unsurprisingly, at Walsall, where Bradford are the visitors this weekend. James Hanson with two fantastic headers. If you haven't checked those out, the two from his from the game against Coventry last week, then check those out if you can on the old YouTube that they have these days. Very much a different Bradford side, I think we can expect this season. It already looks a different Bradford side, I think. Billy Knott, Billy Clark, Shane Alan Sheehan, I think, might be missing this weekend, but I think some more options, I think, when it comes to opening up teams. That's not to say that someone like James Hanson isn't going to be, a vital cog in this Bradford wheel. So we'll keep him on side for now. Fully expect Walsall to exceed a few expectations this year. I guess if Dean Smith is well versed in getting more out of this side than he might look to on paper, I guess. Had a small enough squad and just ran out of steam, I think, towards the end of last year. But started kind of relatively well this season. Some sloppy defending, I think, in their opening game against Port Vale. And I'm just sure that sooner or later they're going to bemoan the loss of Andy Butler to Sheffield United, particularly when it comes to defending balls into the box. And when it comes to attacking balls that are fired into the box, probably no one in the division is better equipped to do that than James Hanson at the moment. So he sets off the Anytime Notebook at 11-5 as Bradford visit Walsall, where they won last year, and Hanson got on the score sheet as well. So another couple of things in our favour just there. So James Hanson 11-5 first of all. Next off then, Accrington, they head to Cheltenham. Kind of an odd one this. I just thought this price was a little bit too big. Accrington been competitive, 2 defeats so far. They have lost on opening day to Southend and lost midweek against Leeds as well, but competitive in both those games. I think that's the least you expect of James Beattie's sides over the course of this season and last. So they head to Cheltenham. A decent record they got at Cheltenham, 3 wins in their last 4 as well. They caused a shock at Bury last week. Probably shouldn't let that result cloud our judgment too much. Fully expect kind of Accrington and Cheltenham to be in and around each other. Not much between these two sides towards the end of the season. You're talking about the worst home defence last year for Cheltenham, and I think Brighton, kind of midweek, although they're a couple of divisions higher, they opened them up with relative ease, and there was a couple of odd defensive performances in that Cheltenham performance midweek. So because he leads the line for Accrington on his own, I just thought James Gray, not your kind of go-to person for, wouldn't probably be in my top 10 of go-to strikers in this division. But I just thought 7-2 was a little bit too big. Maybe some other layers have got it around the right price, but 7-2 just stuck out to me on the coupon. If you go into to last season's form as well, he scored kind of 4 in his last 4 competitive games. That spans across the opening 2 games of this season and last. And he got off the mark against Leeds midweek as well. So I thought 7-2 was for an Accrington side that's going to be competitive this year against a Cheltenham side that aren't kind of bomb-proof at home by any stretch of the imagination. James Gray leading the line for Accrington. I thought 7-2 was a really decent price. So we stick him in second. And then last of all, Stevenage, I think, have made a really positive start. I think some really good signs coming out from the reports that I've read. I think a load of new faces in that Stevenage side after relegation last year. But the good news is, and it's always pivotal, I think, with Graham Wesley, that they seem to have bought in. Early days suggest they seem to have bought into Wesley's ideals straight away. So they head to Southend kind of this weekend. Still got Calvin Zola, I think, is going to be struggling with his injury. Darius Charles and Adam Marriott look like a really interesting partnership up front, and they've been more than the match for Hartlepool defence last week, and they were pretty decent against Watford midweek as well. Just going to take a chance here though on Charlie Lee, who looks to be one of the ones that's settled the best since his move from Gillingham. He's got into some really good positions on the highlights that I've seen, and kind of takes the odd free kick as well. So I'm going to put him up at 7-1 as kind of a nice, kind of friendly priced outsider. A positive Stevenage side that have kind of been one in my notebook right from the off. Head to Southend. Charlie Lee 7-1, James Hanson 11-5, and James Gray for Accrington as they visit Cheltenham at 7-2. Whatever you're back in, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on the other side.